All right, bowl season is here. Moving on to Thursday night in the Armed Forces Bowl, Fort Worth, Texas. We got Baylor taking on the Air Force Falcons. Really good year for Troy Calhoun and company. A lot of line movement in this game. This opened closer to Baylor -6.5, and this total was in the upper 40s. Baylor's all the way down to only a 3.5 point favorite here, and total has gotten absolutely crushed down to about 43 right now. It makes sense on both fronts. Record-breaking winter weather in Texas this weekend. Going to be about 20 degrees by kickoff in Fort Worth, and winds are going to be over 20 miles an hour. It's going to favor a team like Air Force that keeps the ball on the ground. And then we'll get into their defense a little bit in a second. With these conditions, it's going to be hard for Blake Shapen in that Baylor passing game to get into rhythm. So I really agree with that line movement on both fronts. Baylor offense, in my opinion, I think they're probably above average. Blake Shapen, just 7.5 yards per attempt this year. I think that's a guy that's going to have a lot of success as his career progresses, but still just a first-year starter. He's pretty limited as a deep thrower. He's good in the quick game. Baylor's got a pretty solid set of running backs. They got three of them, different skill sets that they rotate. But man, I'm telling you, this Air Force defense is legit, and specifically going up against the run. I mean, they're borderline elite in that category. I have them power rated as a top 10 run defense in the whole country. So I do think Air Force are going to be able to stop the run. And like I said, with these conditions, is this a night where you expect Blake Shapen to have one of his better games of the season? I think no. So really, it's going to come down to which team can stop the run better. I've seen nothing from Air Force to indicate that they can't. There is some nuance to this, though. Air Force did not play a very hard schedule this year, being in the Mountain West. Their big non-conference game was against Colorado, and we know how bad they were this year. So, on the other side, have they really seen offenses as good as Baylor? I'd say Baylor's kind of mediocre by Big 12 standards, but if they were in a Group of 5 conference, it'd be a different conversation. So on the other side, as I mentioned, Air Force a triple option system, pretty cut and dry. I will say their quarterback, Hazik Daniels, 9.5 yards per attempt this year. Air Force, unlike maybe an Army or a Navy or some of the other triple option attacks we've seen here in modern college football, they will take some shots in the passing game. They're few and far in between. I wouldn't be surprised if they catch Baylor by surprise on a few occasions in this game. Baylor's defense is probably the reason why they were 6-6. We've seen plenty of teams have offenses basically to the same quality as Baylor's. I kind of think about last year's Oklahoma State team, but when you have really good defenses, you can still contend for championships. It's really on that defensive side of the ball where I've seen some, slippage from Baylor as compared to last year. There's really no indicator playing in the Big 12. Obviously there's some good backs like Bijan Robinson, Eric Gray that they've had to go up against, but, it's not a triple option attack. So there's really no priors that you can look at. How is Baylor going to fare against the triple option? Run defense is their strength. I worry about them a lot more against the pass. I think Daniels will get maybe one or two, but that's not going to be a constant theme of this game. As I look for a way to approach this game, I would like to be on Air Force here because I really think that defense is legit. I think Baylor, kind of as we've seen all year, is going to have a hard time creating explosive plays through the air and then specifically establishing the run in this game. I think Air Force is going to control the clock. And ultimately, I think they got a pretty good shot of winning this game. The issue is we've lost so much value on this, with it opening at 6.5. I can't play it at this number. What I'm going to wait to do, this game is obviously tomorrow night. I'm going to wait to see if this creeps back up above 4. If we get Air Force plus 4.5, I will be on Air Force plus the points as an official 1-unit play. Just can't play it at this number. Kind of missed the window there as of now, but lines do move on game day, and hopefully we do get some line movement towards the Bears. Really kind of that same approach with the total. I mean, if the total were to get above 45, I'd like to be on the under for all the reasons mentioned, but I don't see that happening. My best look in this game is absolutely Air Force. I'm going to wait on this. Hopefully it gets above 4, and if it does, I'll be on the Air Force as an official 1-unit play.